All right. Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath once again. All praise to the Most High. The opportunity to be able to do this, as I always say. Tonight's topic is forest for the trees. Forest for the trees. I'm sure many people have heard that saying before. This is obviously along the same lines. It seems kind of right on the nose, but it's appropriate for these times. So it's interesting. A lot of people speak about how many people are like brothers and sisters that are in the truth. People will they'll push back on where you stand or what your belief might be based on something tangible, evidence. Even though the ironic thing is that whatever brothers and sisters throughout the world may believe, they believe it based on no evidence. It's merely anecdotal. It's hypothesis and guesses and stuff like that. It's not nothing concrete. So it's fascinating that people are pushed back on where we stand biblically because we believe in the God that we believe in, but they don't hold themselves accountable for the same standards they try to push on other people. But this is kind of how it has to be. Nonetheless, the interesting thing about that back and forth between people is God has left us evidence. It's all over the place. You just are not aware of it, or you're not paying attention to the things that are happening day in and day out through your life, through media, through news, through outlets. Whatever you're seeing is the reaction of the living creator showing the people or his creation what time frame we're in. Now, being honest and truthful, I'm aware that the scriptures talk about congregation of the dead. I'm aware of it. I was in it at one point in time, and make no mistake about it, I'm sure as a lot of other brothers and sisters were, you were in that situation and you couldn't tell blue from green, yellow from red, up from down when you was in the world. So there's a level of patience that has to be applied to those in our nation, that it be the Most High's will that they be able to see it. But you have to hold near and dear and appreciate the fact that you can see things that others cannot, and you have to move accordingly. So it's not that this God that we believe in never leaves you without evidence. It's always there. Whether brothers and sisters choose to believe it is on them. I mentioned this before on the street. I mentioned this, I think, in the previous class before. The same dynamic is like you read in, I don't know if it's in Genesis, might be 7 or 8, I think, where the Lord talks about the covenant he left in the sky, the rainbow. Now, that's something the Lord told us. That's factual evidence. That's something tangible we can see. Same thing as our people being put on slave ships. That's something tangible we can see. Nonetheless, you have people out there that are skeptics that say, hey, they don't necessarily say the rainbow was invented, but they'll attribute it to how something shines off the sun. Now, I'm not a person that denies science, but I'm a person that believes man's science can't explain everything. The Most High has given us ample time, and you know how Esau is, he dig deep to try to find things out. And some things are explainable. The Most High has allowed that to see and allowed it to open up for it to happen, so somebody can make sense of what an experiment has taken place or whatever. That doesn't disprove God. Science does not disprove God. It actually works the opposite way. Same thing with the rainbow. You have people that deny the slave ships. What are you going to do? But nonetheless, you believe, so you have to move accordingly. So this is the time frame that we're in. All right. With that being said, again, tonight's topic, forest for the trees. Let's open up with 2nd Ezra 4. 2nd Ezra 4, and let's start at verse 43. It says, from the beginning, look, what thou desire. I'll start at 42. For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail, Even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. The brilliance of something like childbirth. Scriptures talk about, I think it's in John 12, about a woman having a child, and I can't imagine what that pain's like. And that's all you can think about at the time. Seen videos of it, I've heard stories. I have a mother, I've heard these things. I understand what they're talking about, though I have not been in that seat. I'm glad I don't have to be. Nonetheless, I believe the pain that they talk about. That's all you think about. You're consumed with it. But the scriptures talk about and compare this to a woman. The things that have happened, it's a necessity of travail. Because again, adversity breeds experience, patience, all these different things, honor, all these different things it breeds, because this is the only thing it's the best tool to be able to learn things about life. So pain is necessary. A lot of people want to escape it, and that's the mindset. But when the end result, which in a woman's case would be the child, that's all they can think about. All they think about is a child, and that pain is switched over to joy. Same thing that we're experiencing right now. All this hell and stuff that we all want to get over with, because nobody wants to stay in a state of travail or misery. But it's necessary for the process to get to where you want to be. So, though it's a struggle sometimes, like First Peter says, you have to be joyous in the sufferings that you go through, what that Christ went through, because you're chosen, you can see, teaches you a lot. Still a better teacher. Most High knows what he's doing. For like as a woman that traileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of travail, even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. It's the same thing here. The creation wants the right people to take back over position of leading it. Scriptures talk about these different things, animals. These things are waiting for the righteous to come back into power. It's a hasting process, though it looks like, from my perspective, it looks like it's slow. Verse 43, for from the beginning, look, what thou desirest to see, it shall be showed to thee, like I was mentioning. Then answered I and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, and if it be possible, and if I be meet therefore, show me then whether there be more to come than is past, or more past than is to come. So Ezra is answering this question. Can you at least show me the things that are in the past? Is it more or less than the things that have to come? Verse 46, what is past I know, but what is for to come I know not. And he said unto me, stand up upon the right side, and I shall expound the similitude unto thee. So I stood and saw, and behold, an hot burning oven passed by before me, and it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still. After this there passed by before me a watery cloud, and sent down much rain with a storm. And when the stormy rain was past, the drops remained still. So he's given him this similitude, this vision of this oven passing by him. He sees the flame, the smoke is going back, is trailing it. After the oven's gone, the smoke is still there. Rain comes. A watery cloud passes. It sent down much rain with a storm. When the stormy rain was past, the drops remained still, showing him something. Like the mention is all the time about the Most High is giving us things that we've always been around to help you to understand what's going on. Verse 50, then said he unto me, consider with thyself, as the rain is more than the drops, and as the fire is greater than the smoke. But the drops and the smoke remain behind. So the quantity which is past did more exceed. So, remember, this is Ezra's time, way back when. This is the Babylonian captivity. Now, mind you, this is a very, very long time ago, okay? And the vision is showing that, helping Ezra to understand the things and the events that have taken place in the past far exceeds what has to come. Meaning more things have passed and less time is to come. This is Ezra's time. Now, if you fast forward to our time, obviously that dynamic has stayed the same, and it would be more exacerbated on both sides. More is past than is to come. That's a key indicator for us because, again, people ask that question: why are things happening? Why do these things look the way they do? A person might say, "Listen, I did everything I could to be a basketball star. I've born in the perfect time for to be the internet craze, social media. All these things are showing itself to be more popular. They're getting my name out there. All these videos a person can put out in any respective field, basketball, whatever it may be." My brother mentions this from time to time about how a lot. This is the time period where this is the most millionaires made. I've seen videos on YouTube where there's a 14-year-old kid. He's being interviewed, and this kid's got like $7 million already at 14. Now, other people will look at that as that's great. I don't. I look at it as this is a sign of the times. This is the Most High never designed it for everybody to be rich and everybody be living the greatest life ever. That's not how it's supposed to work. But to me, this is social media as another construct, and a strong one at that, that has made people's hearts colder than they ever have been. That's purposeful, and that is indicative of the time frame that we're in. But people are not paying attention to it. This is to show you, listen, there's less time that we have. This clock is almost up. Everything in the past far exceeds what is to come. It's something we have to pay attention to, keep in mind to reevaluate certain things that you're doing. Let's go to 2 Ezra 16. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And this is brilliant. Because you always have to appreciate the Most High because he shoots it straight. It's not a lot of times some people, they want to hear things that kind of are soothing in a time of crisis. The Most High will pile it on for you to help you to understand the severity of the situation. You have to appreciate that because a lot of people don't know when to pick and choose their spots. Sometimes a person needs tough love and the people or family or whoever it is not willing to give it to them because they think the reverse is going to help, when no, you need to apply more pressure at this point so the person realizes, this is not a game. Most High does that perfectly, though he gives you a balance. But there's a time and a season for everything. This ain't the season to be sitting back, reserved, and having a good time. The Most High is shooting arrows to the ends of the earth. And real quick, staying in 2 Ezra. 2 Ezra's 9. Coming right back. 2 Ezra's 9. And 2 Ezra's 9 and I'll read verse 5. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The scriptures talk a lot about declaring the end from the beginning. Brilliant dynamic how the Most High does things. This is kind of like a twofold shot at repentance, if you take it. Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works. So the beginning of the situations or the creation are done in wonders and powerful works, and in endings and effects and signs. Let's go back to 2 Ezra 16. This is all playing itself out the exact same way the Most High said it was going to be done. It's happening. There is no point really where anybody can really make excuses anymore. The ability and the time to repent is now, obviously. But you got to figure out who's going to take advantage of it. But the Most High is not to be blamed here. This is not his fault. It's his creation, obviously. And there's a point, obviously, where some people will try to put the blame on the Father. You can't do that. Even though it's, there's a system we have to play out. But nonetheless, these situations and circumstances are our fault. Can't blame the Most High for it. 2 Ezra 16, read verse 13 again. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. So I don't know if you're looking for a particular marker. I mean, somebody can look at like, hey, World War I or World War II, and somebody relate that to Matthew 24 as rumors of wars and stuff like that. I guess this is all a product of Babylon is falling, like Revelation 18. This is all a product in a systematic escalation of things ending. But you can use that, obviously, but more importantly, it would be smarter to use what you can for your time, because what you're seeing is something it should be evident for you. Because it's not, we can read about Abraham and we can read about a lot of people in the past. But remember, everybody's working on their own salvation. So look at your surroundings and the situation that you're in. The Most High says the plagues have been sent. They're not going to return until they come upon the earth. There's a purpose for these things. And I don't know if anybody's happened it for our marker. It might have been them back in the day, World War I, II, or whatever. Our marker, if anybody's been paying attention, nothing's been the same since COVID hit. Nothing. There might have been times and different things happening, but make no mistake, since COVID has hit the earth, things have been escalating fast. Very fast. Whether it be rumors of wars, inflation, all these different things, and people are seeing it. Gas prices rising again. There's got to be some type of way. There's a rhyme and a reason, or a process to where a kingdom has to fall. We're seeing it. You're witnessing it. If we mention all the time, as people, like I mentioned earlier, about pushing back on our faith and we don't believe this and believe that. Listen, at the end of the day, the scriptures are an account of history. Outside sources confirm these things. People are trying to figure out how the Bible is so accurate, while other people are trying to be ignorantly unaware of situations when it's right in front of your face. But we know Egypt fell, documented. We know those dynasties ended. We know Babylon ruled and fell. We know the Medes and the Persians got taken over by the Greeks. We know this. We know Alexander fell. We know he divided his kingdom. We know Antiochus Epiphanes came. He gone. We know all these different things happened. We know Rome came to power and fell and rose again. Though an extended family of them, they're ruling now. This is just another kingdom, folks. It's another kingdom. You think this is going to last forever? That would make no sense. That would negate everything that happened in the past. No, this thing has to end. And we're witnessing it. So nothing has been the same since nothing. The government's releasing videos now. They just released one like a week ago, maybe. And they're talking about, it's just all out information. They're just declassifying. Hey, we have had 400 and some encounters of UFO. We can't explain it. Oh, the people that know what's going on. Well, they know. I don't know if people are adjusting and paying attention to reevaluating certain things, but nonetheless, you're aware of why these things happening. It's not no government system. It's not no aliens coming to invade. It's nothing like that. Maybe celestial or extraterrestrial, if you will, but not aliens. We know that these people have a face, a purpose, and a judgment to come. We know these things. We have to move accordingly. Well, the rest of the earth, people not paying attention, they're missing it. Verse 15, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returning not backward. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, Woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days? And this is all kind of new to all of us because these things that are happening. You know, I haven't seen it. It's just, you take heed to these situations because the signs and effects are everywhere. Like we just read in 2nd Ezra 9, it's everywhere. But people can't see it. It's like the phrasing of the class. It's forest for the trees. They can't see it. They're in the midst of it, in a forest. There's trees everywhere. They don't realize it. They're just staring at one. They're missing that they're in a forest. It makes no sense. But it does to the people that can see. But people are not necessarily discerning. They're not trying to look at the one power that has the ability and is inflicting and using his powers to change our circumstances in our everyday life. Nobody's returning to him. Nobody. The one thing that can deliver you is this Bible. And the fascinating thing is people are getting further and further away from the one thing that can help them. They're getting more hardened and more hardened. And people are saying this. It's death and destruction to me. Who's going to deliver me in these things? Nobody wants to live in these situations. Here we are. 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. This is correction. This is the reason why it's happening. Because the earth is chaotic and completely out of order. There's nothing that the creator did not want this thing to move and exist like it does. This is the most vile thing ever. I don't know if you've seen, you mentioned of COVID, the Russia-Ukraine situation, Finland's trying to join NATO, and Putin is trying to cut off the gas to Europe. All these different things are being triggered. China's forming alliances, India. People are just looking at the screen like nothing's happening. And this is, in their head, it's 2010. But now you have, besides COVID, now you have what? Monkeypox, right? I just seen this earlier today. And you would think that it would set off some type of alarm. Monkeypox. CDC said this. Monkeypox is targeting bisexual and homosexual men. Will the gays reevaluate where they stand? Of course not. Because I was born like this. This is the mentality people are taking. They're getting more harder. They're getting harder and harder. All these different things. And I just seen today, lo and behold, U.S. is right on top of it. Instead of looking at a situation and correct it, you got a lot of our people in their homosexual, lesbian lifestyle. You got a lot of them. But you're witnessing how bad these circumstances are getting, but nobody is taking heed to all the flares and the sirens and everything that's going on. They're just moving about their day like it's nothing. And lo and behold, America steps right in to take the little ability of discernment or concentration you might have had on why certain things are happening. They pop up. Lo and behold, they have a monkeypox vaccine. Some woman or spokesperson said that they had this already ready because they was waiting on an outbreak like this for years. You look at pictures of China, all the cities shut down. Just look just like New York. What is it, a year and a half ago? From COVID. Now the monkeypox is spreading, and they had it. Apparently, they mentioned this in the 80s, and it disappeared. Came back in Nigeria in the mid 90s. And it's funny because the first case documented they found in Massachusetts, the doctor said it's fascinating because we checked this person. They haven't even left the States. They just happen to have the disease. Another plague happening on Earth. Anybody paying attention? Nope. They just had, this is now 2022 as we know it. We're in what? We're in May, right? About to go into June. 27 school shootings have happened from January their year, from January to now. 27 school shootings have happened. We know what just happened in Buffalo, New York a week ago. That nobody is paying attention. Some woman in California, this is the mindset and the spirits that are unleashed in this place. Some woman in California, I think a couple weeks ago, some woman, grown woman, she killed all three of her children and got some 16-year-old to help. Nobody's witnessing and paying attention to look. Man, the type of cold hearted and evil nature is escalating fast. And you would think this would be something, hey, this is very alarming. This is something maybe I need to look into. Nope. It's how can I be the next influence on Instagram? It's just like that movie Don't Look Up. It's just like it. The indication that all things are about to end. And people are worrying about technology, worrying about these different things. Verse 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Because you approach a situation where it's like, you think about a parent with their children. You've reached the point what looks like no return. What do I do if I've instilled in my children, Israelites, what do I do with them if I've taught them while they were young? Even though they disobeyed me, I've given them every opportunity to repent of their evil ways in return. And every time I extend my hand for mercy, they take it as a joke and they get worse and worse. What do? Most High's got answers because all this stuff is happening for a reason. Let's go to Psalm 16. And it's funny because it ain't a situation where people even know, like, the one place that they can turn, they're just not. They won't even explore the option. They'll go seek Allah or whoever it may be for the justification of why these things are happening. The Quran and all these different things. And I don't know, man. It's a perfect climate for where the Most High had to put this thing at, for somebody to take heed. For those that can see and will, it's helping. Because at some point in time, the only thing some people are going to respond to is fear. That's it. That's why I mentioned earlier about the tough love. Some people need a dose of reality that nobody else can give them except their Creator. And make no mistake about it, the Most High knows what his children need to respond, or suffer consequences. It's what the earth is filled with now. Psalm 16, verse 1. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord, thou art my Lord. My goodness extendeth not to thee, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. And this is something you read like in Job. It's like I think I mentioned this last week. And it's always relevant. The idea that a person being righteous somehow benefits God. It's not meant to be a confusing statement. The Most High wants you to be righteous. Just like parents want their children to be, because they know what's best for them. So it's the Most High wants that, but make no mistake about it. You denying the Lord ain't gonna stop anything. You saying I don't believe in that's not the God I believe in. It makes no difference. You will answer to that same God one way or another. That's what's coming. But our people are not. A lot of our people, they just go right back to the same mentality and the same motions that they've always been in. Even though everything around them is changing, you would think that people's mindsets and emotions would change with the situation around them. You would think it has some type of impact on them. But our people, so-called blacks and Hispanics, it's just the party mentality. Just gotta have a good time. Always. Happy this, happy that. Hug them, show them more love. Don't worry about this. All these things are happening to you. Black Lives Matter. All these different things go right back to, hey, NFL is about to start soon. Always. Chris Rock got smacked by Will Smith. That's all they care about. Red table talk. Sisters twerking. That's all they're worrying about. And they are so detached from reality. It's mind-boggling. Like you couldn't write a script like this and make somebody believe it. Lo and behold, this is our everyday life that we're exposed to. So the things that we're doing is for your benefit. It's for you to run this race and get the gift and the inheritance the Most High has promised to our foreparents. It's on you to get it. Verse 4, and this is one of the biggest problems. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. Because at this point, the people, our people don't seek the only healing medicine that they can receive from God. And they don't, it's like it fits perfectly for somebody's destruction because they don't even know where to look. They're so confused they don't even know where to look. They think they have it figured out. They don't know that they're confused. But they're so confused they're hastening after another God. You have, I don't know, I'm about to order this book. I seen this guy mention it on the Joe Rogan podcast. And as soon as he mentioned it, I already knew about the paper that came out in the 80s. That headline about the cowboys being in the White House. They were taking a tour of the White House. This is in a newspaper. You can look it up. That's all I heard about that. This guy apparently made a book. I forgot what it's called. Hold on, I might have the name here. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, there it is. It's called The Franklin Scandal, a story of power brokers, child abuse, and betrayal. Now, mind you, this is the fascinating thing about Israel, and that's what they do. They hasten after another God. They love it. And they go chasing after somebody that can't help them. The brutal nature of the judgments that happen, and again, it's the receiver's fault, the recipient's fault. It's not the Most High. Everybody's raising their hand for judgment. Instead of turning to the Most High, they look for the same people. It's usually the so-called white man. Usually, I mean, they're in power, so it would make sense, I guess, to reach for them. But our people so Stockholm in the mind, they'll continue to reach for them for the answers. Just like our people love marching and doing all those other things for no apparent reason. It never helps. You even got our own people, like the Black Lives Matter thing you mentioned before about, you would think our people are in it to help the people and they're just collecting money. I just seen something the other day where one of the sisters had offered, I think the ones that started it came out that she gave her sister's baby father 90 grand or some other junk. It's not, her interest is not in helping our people. Not surprising. The Lord says the love of money is the root of all things, so it makes people do crazy stuff. Nonetheless, our people turn to those that can't help them. So like political system is one of the biggest things, and I mentioned that book for a reason. All these different things, especially now that scriptures talk about how the understanding is going to be brought out even more. Certain things are being uncovered. The Most High always says everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. A lot of people aren't knowing these different things, and they're just easily accessible. You can pull them up and look them up. Documented. All these scandals in the political spectrum, and our people still ready to cast a vote. You had the guy, Jeffrey Epstein. Sick, vile, one of the many in that nation, but Jeffrey Epstein, a documented known sex trafficker of children. Documented. He has ties to the royal British family. He has ties to celebrities. He's got ties to Mossad in Israel. He's got ties to ex-presidents. It's logged and documented that Bill Clinton took 26 flights with this guy. Now, we know he had this little island. I forgot what they called it. They nicknamed it, but it's vile. flying kids out there to sleep with them and stuff. It's the same thing I mentioned on the newspaper that the White House has done. This stuff is documented. Known pedophiles and sex traffickers raping, all kinds of unspeakable things that they've done to kids. And our people are so happy to put the I voted sticker on their shirt when the time comes back around. These are documented. And a spokesperson comes out. Of course, Bill Clinton had no idea the stuff that Epstein was doing. Come on, man. You just, if you believe it, it's because you want to believe it. Our people are still voting Democrat and Republican. They still arguing over if Trump's going to get back in the office. I mean, what is it going to take for the people to realize that they're living in a nightmare in a society that is run by killers and pedophiles? This stuff is documented. Nobody can dispute it. Nobody would dispute it. Lo and behold, mysteriously, Jeffrey Epstein just commits suicide as soon as he gets in prison. Oh, it's nasty. Excuse me. What's her name? Giselle Maxwell? Maxine Giselle? I think her name is just whoever. One of his little side pieces that he was dealing with physically and financially. She was setting up things for him. She gets locked up. But they had these black books of all these names. It's documented. And the confidence grows. It's like I mentioned at the beginning. The people that fight us, that have this belief and this stance wholeheartedly on the scriptures, they want evidence from you that your God's real. They want evidence of seeing things that I can put my hand to and prove that these things are happening. Even though you can just spit it off at the tongue, they don't want to receive it. But let the government say anything with documented proof showing the opposite and proving them to be liars. They still go cast their vote at the ballot. It's crazy. But, I mean, you can't, but there's a level of godly patience that has to be shown. Like 2 Corinthians 7 talks about godly sorrow. There has to be a level of godly, I'm talking about otherworldly patience for a nation of people that are doing themselves in every second they get. Because you would think if it was one of us, I mean, let's be real. If it was one of us, without this type of spirit, because it's still hard knowing this, but without this type of spirit, you'd be done with these people. You'd be done with Israel. You'd be like, I'm not. You sitting on a perch and you being the Most High, and you just be like, it's been 2,000 years. I'm not dealing with this no more. I'm not. You look at the angels, go wipe them out. It would be the mindset. But that showed you a level of compassion the Most High has. That's a different, otherworldly patience that the Most High has. And you have to have it with this nation because they are the most stiff-necked and hard-headed people on the face of the earth. Because showing all kinds of evidence to the contrary, whatever they believe, they will not take hold of it. And they will keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Sickening. It's sickening. Let's go to Jeremiah 5. Most High speaks about that. Is not at what point I can't accept the offerings. I can't accept the crying tears and none of that stuff because it don't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. The Most High understands that the action that you are doing far exceeds anything that you can ever say. Because you walking a particular way confirms you saying something out of your mouth that you believe. Christianity would have you have it the opposite, where you can confess it and not walk it. Which they don't allow anybody else to live by that standard in the world. But they know self-preservation was good for me. I can get away with my magical thought process. I can give it to somebody else. Therefore, I can't condemn you. You can't condemn me. Let's live happily ever after. That's how people's mindsets are. Most are not playing that game. Jeremiah 5, verse... I'll read verse 1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now and know. Seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man, if there be any that execute judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it. The level of compassion from the Most High. You've run everywhere you can to the broad places and find it. And as many times as we be out on the street talking to people in the broad places, it don't look like that. It look like the only people that believe in the truth is me and whoever the reader is. That's what that's what the circumstances look like. Verse 2. And though they say the Lord liveth, surely they swear false. Surely they swear falsely. And this is a excellent scripture because everybody you come across believes that. Of course the Lord lives. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Everybody has all these catchphrases. They say it all the time. Everybody believes it. Or everybody says it. Everybody doesn't believe it. Everybody says it. I'm covered by Christ. Compassion. Don't worry about these laws. You're looking too deep into Levitical law, brother. You gotta look more on the spiritual side. I'm more spiritual than anything. Surely these people that say God lives are lying because none of them had no fear of God on them at all. At all. The fear of God makes you stop doing things, and they're consistently living the life that they live in. Let's jump to verse 7. Yeah, verse 7. I mentioned this earlier. How shall I pardon thee for this? All these things that are taking place. I seen that monkeypox thing I mentioned earlier. They said they're tracing it to what they call a fetish festival in Belgium. I suggest you not do it, but I looked some of these. I didn't know. I mean, obviously, you know the word fetish. It can go a lot of different ways, but I looked it up because I seen it. I didn't know, so I clicked on it. I was reading it and reading it. They had a couple articles on it, and I was just like, let me just click on the images and find out what this thing, so I can just seeing is believing a lot of times. In most cases, I should say, because a lot of people are seeing it and they're not believing. But nonetheless, I clicked on the images and it showing to me confirmed what I previously thought. They have pictures of these men, crowd of men. One stage, there's multiple pictures. One stage was some guys laying on a table with some leather getup and some dude on top of him. Didn't look like he had any man's attire on. Some other picture where they just had these guys standing in front of these, mostly Edomites, but you know, obviously, is Jake's there. This picture where they're all standing in these leather get-ups and these hats and stuff that they're wearing. One picture where it's big Jake dude standing in the middle with two Edomites standing on his arm, holding his arm, or arms on his shoulders. It's sickening. I mean, you obviously can imagine the frustration or the anger that the Most High has when he looks down at the creation. This is as bad as it can get, which makes perfect sense of why we're in the time that we're in. Verse 7, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods. When I had fed them to the full, they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops into the harlot houses. And whether it be the churches, most people will lean towards that for harlot houses. Everything in this beast, when it talks about Revelation, this entire place is the harlot house. The Catholic Church, everything across the spectrum of this globe is corrupt and sick. And our people always, they can't just be great. It can't, being great and called and chosen by I was thinking about this the other day, how crazy it is for the creator of all creation. Everything you see in your day-to-day life is unexplainable. The sun, the moon, the celestial, the stars, animals, the way nature moves. Every single thing and the people have been created. And the Lord, out of all those things, above the angels, have chosen the so-called blacks and Hispanics, have chosen Israel to be the key piece in all of creation's history. You are the chosen above everything that you could ever think of. And our people are just like, that's really not good enough. I know I'm used to be a king and a queen, but I still need to be able to smoke. Gotta have weed. It makes me ascend to a higher spiritual level than you claim that you're already experiencing. I need the weed. I need Newports. I need to eat the pig. It just helps me be free. It's just the mindset of our people is unbelievable. And the more rope you give them, they're just looking at it as a way to hang themselves. They're not looking to escape out of the hole that they're in. Just that, what kind of noose can I build today? I got to make the noose different from yesterday. I got to sin more. They assemble themselves in huge numbers to go into these harlot houses. And they, let's put it this way. Some level of conscience in you is telling you that some things that you're doing are not right. Most people have a hesitation of dealing with somebody else's wife. They might have the urge to do it and they might do it, but they have some hesitation because something deep down in them is just like, this ain't really right. Somebody taking another person's life, it's not really right. Let me just go and steal something from this old blind woman. There's something in me that's not right, but I'm doing it anyway because there's no fear of God there, obviously. And our people mimic everything that they see. Just like children. They see other nations doing what they do, and we just gotta. I went in on that. I went on that. But you don't want in on his judgment, though. It goes hand in hand. You can't escape it. And people are always looking for somebody else to blame. They're looking for, it was his fault. Well, I was hanging out with him. It was his fault. Adam did the same thing. It's the woman you gave me. You gave me her. It's completely fine. I was doing all these different things, running the garden, doing all these different things. You gave me her. And I can imagine Lord sitting back and was like, how dare, I looked at this as a benefit for you. But once again, people have sought out many inventions. Everything that the Lord has created, man has figured out some way to pervert it. Figured some type of way to pervert it and not used it for its natural use. No fear of God in them. Let's go to Jeremiah 30. Let's go to Jeremiah 30. Verse 15. This is and because this is the mentality of majority of people. If this is the reason why I say a lot of times, like, especially with the scriptures, because it just, these spiritual things, there's got to be so much more that the Most High expounds on and shows you in the kingdom. I can't imagine, because the things that you've understood by this principle of these scriptures, it gives you an insight into every single spirit that's walking. Every single one immediately. I don't need to know anybody. Immediately off the bat, I can tell any person whether they're evil or whether they're good. Immediately. If they turn from the scriptures, they're evil. Immediately. We don't need to talk about anything else. If they don't want to serve the Lord, they're evil. It's cut and dry. And you know more about people than they know about themselves, because they're operating in this lustful, animalistic state. And you talk to them about it and you tell them that. And they're reasoning with you like it makes sense. And they're blaming you on everything else, where it's just, I can't control this. I can't control this. But yet you still want laws in place if somebody raped your daughter. You won't accept that person saying, I couldn't, your daughter was just, she was so attractive. I couldn't contain myself. You're not trying to hear that. But you want it to be shifted under certain circumstances that benefit you. It's how people, and this is, we know, when you in the scriptures, you know that you have this law that you're dealing with your members. I know that about these people. I know it about everybody I deal with. I know it about myself. So this is just the reality check that the Most High has given you. And he gives it to you, like I mentioned, just cut and dry, no BS. So you better understand yourself. You got to abstain from certain things, because your flesh will completely take over. And that's the prime example of that is, before you come into the truth, your entire existence is serving the flesh. Your entire existence, until the Most High gives you the spirit, and you're just like, as I can stop smoking. I'm crawling out of my skin not to deal with these women. But I cannot do it. You understand that you used to be a slave, now you're free, but you're trying to go back into slavery. It's a sad situation. But we are ourselves to blame. It's our fault. Jeremiah 30 and verse 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. So this is the same thing you're reading like Lamentations 3. I think it's like 42 or something. When he mentions like why does a man complain about why does he complain about his judgment? This is the same thing we ask people all the time. What's going to be your answer? You talk to people on the street and they'll say things like, you can tell like some people you talk to and you got them caught and they're in a box. They don't know what else to say. They're caught. So you see that. You see now, since you was confused on Galatians, you understand now that Paul was saying we have to keep the law. Like, yeah, well, you're saying that I don't necessarily not confirmed within me. Okay, so I can steal, so I can kill. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so you believe that there's laws that we have to keep. Yeah, okay, cool. So what's going to be your answer for the Lord asking you, why didn't you keep the Sabbath day? This is the seventh day of the week. Why would you still trying to cook on the seventh day? What's going to be your answer? When the Lord sees fit to send somebody to eternal judgment, why would you should sit there with a smile on your face and be like, you know what? I knew this was coming, but I really enjoyed my life on the earth being evil. I really enjoyed it. It's like a psychopath. You see some of these serial killers like that. Some of them, they're playing a role because they get real scared when they see that needle and it's time to go. But some of them, no movement, no facial expression. Like they said to the guy that was brought in from the Buffalo shooting, he's just sitting in there quiet and he's hearing the proceedings go on. Keep that same energy. You shouldn't be upset. Don't cry because the Most High wants to judge you. You was comfortable in this. The Lord said it's incurable because of your sin. Why are you complaining? Why complain about anything that's going on? Why are you marching in the street? You're a part of the problem. Cops keep killing us. It's your fault. You celebrating Christmas got somebody else killed. You celebrating Easter got somebody else judged. This is how it happens. It's our fault. But people want to complain. Want to reserve the right to complain. People don't. They're not trying to fix no situations. They're not trying to. People like to argue and complain. That's all. They don't really want to fix nothing. They like to have a platform to debate because people like debating. And then when you get caught in a corner, you throw a temper tantrum and you leave the conversation. And then you go start it with somebody else. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto you. So it's our fault. And stuff like this should make you reevaluate where you stand. This isn't just for people were so happy about the insurrection of the capital of DC when it happened. People was posting online and just happy to put it up and look at systems crumbling. It's crumbling with I'm talking about people in the truth. Posting these things and sharing it. And the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, this is interesting. The first thing that came to my mind was, dang, we getting closer. The time is getting closer for me to get judged. That's my thought process. I'm not saying that I'm the person that's standing here and disassociating myself from everybody else. I feel the things that you feel. I go through the things that you go through. I'm not looking at myself as more better than anybody else. But that's how I think and process certain things, and that's how we all should be thinking. That's the right thought process. Because nonetheless, what is it? What's the end for you? A lot of people in the truth still playing games. You see it now. The time is getting closer and closer. They're on the street and they're saying certain things. They're putting videos up in there, showing you that they're wearing fringes and they have feast days, and they still evil as hell. Still. Go to Zephaniah chapter 3. The funny thing about the scriptures is, I think me and a brother had talked about this some time ago. The funny thing about the scriptures is, as much as we try to take the Bible and we try to use it and frame it like the Bible is speaking to everybody else, like outside the truth, or mainly to the nations, but categorize and put them all in the same box, the other nations and Israel that are not in the truth. The nations can't be, but you know what I mean. The idea of everybody lumped together, not keeping commandments, whether Gentile or Jew, all together. I'm talking about heathen nations and Israel, lumped all together that's not keeping the commandments. That's how people like to perceive things most of the time. They like to take these things and speak it to the world. Isaiah 58:1. Let's speak the judgments and tell Israel they sin. Let's show them they sin. When these scriptures are mainly, overwhelmingly, talking to people that know God. This is the biggest, I wouldn't say a misconception. It looks like that on the surface because people reading this know. But a lot of times that we talk and the way we deal is mainly focused or spoken to people that don't know the truth. When this is talking about wicked Israelites that know God, that seen law, that seen signs and effects that the Most High has done, and they still being evil. So this is you looking at a situation. These things happening should fine tune your walk as well. You more so than anybody, because you know and other people don't. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord, she drew not near to her God. Her princes within her are roaring lions, her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. And you, listen, you've been in the truth sometime. You should not be speaking about revenge on another brother or sister. That shouldn't happen. Vengeance is of the Lord. The way that you always pull yourself out of a spirit that's trying to take hold of you, whether it be anger, whether it be let's mainly deal with anger, because that's probably fits this argument better. Some people have a problem with letting go of past things that have happened, friction between brothers and sisters. They have a massive issue with it. It's always a situation with the Matthew 18. It's always a situation where people have a problem with forgiveness. And the way that you correct that easily, if you have a problem with that, the fastest way to do that, to drop a grudge that you might be holding against somebody else, is put yourself in the mirror with the Lord and say, and remind yourself that the Lord, he'll just kill you. You can hold on to that grudge as much as you can hold on to it with 2 arms. You can lift for 8 years and put more strength around it. Hold on to that grudge as much as you want. The Lord's like, that's fine. I'm just going to kill you too. That's when you start the self-preservation always kicks in. People in the world, even in the truth. That's when you start to realize and be like, oh, okay, I got to forgive them even for my own sake. That's the best case scenario for you. Because the Most High is just like, I don't got to forgive nothing you do. Hold on to that. I'm going to set you to the side over here. Answer me when the time for judgment comes. Hold on to that. Hate that brother as much as you want. Hate that sister as much as you want. Don't forgive them. Just you stay over there. I'll talk to you when the time comes. And you ask me for forgiveness for your sins. I'm like, no. You get him out of here. The easiest way to get over a grudge. Easy. Easy. You might not necessarily be best friends anymore, but hey, everybody is not meant to be together all the time. But it's a law that you can't be holding no grudges. So this is something we're supposed to understand too, because that's one of the biggest problems. And you see brothers talking about vengeance on other brothers. That simple brother that put the video out talking about Chris Rock. If I taught him, I would tell him to you need revenge on Will Smith for slapping you. This ain't disrespect to no brother or sister or the brother that put the video out. It's just that's an ignorant, foolish, and stupid statement to say that you got to get revenge on another brother. That's stupid. And that brother probably been in the truth longer than me. That's a horrible take. There ain't no way to clear it up as dumb. Talking about heroin and cocaine and sleep with his wife. These are the things the scriptures talk about. The people in the know-how that know the truth. But the Most High going to deal with folks like that. It's ridiculous. But once again, they seeing the signs just like everybody else. Are they paying attention to it? You should have the eye for it. Nope, they're getting worse and worse and worse. It's like that woman that just decided to kill her 3 kids. Let me just get this 16-year-old to help me. What difference does it make? It's a terrible time that we live in. But it was prophesied to come. Verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. And this is a lot of people how they operate. No shame at all. Brothers putting videos out where you having cookouts on the Sabbath. I mean, what sense does that make? I don't. You in a club on a Friday night. In what world do you read precepts and that's what you get out of keeping the Sabbath holy? Where do you read shots of tequila on a Friday night? Where do you read that at? It's amazing because it's scary. I fear the Most High. It's mind blowing. Like you rack your brain wondering from time to time, like, I'm gonna get the kingdom. Worry about this. And other brothers are doing 1,000 times worse than you. And they carefree. Again, I think I said that before. It's either you foolish or you really got confidence in your walk. But from the outside looking in, that's not the case. Because I can clearly see how you operate. This is who that person is. They ain't gonna make it that way. But some people have a minuscule, I don't even know if you want to call it that, no respect for the Most High, no respect for the law. I don't know. But the Most High says, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, and he faileth not. But the unjust knoweth no shame. So this is what the Most High is consistently doing, beating you over the head over and over again. If we had read more from the top down, in Jeremiah 5 is saying the same thing. You read this in Judges all over the place. You would think just that Proverbs, hold on, it's Proverbs 30. It might be 20. Proverbs 20, verse 30. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil. So doth stripes the inward parts of the belly. You would think beating the hell out of somebody, you would think that somebody would, people did a proverbial saying about beating the sense out of somebody. You would think that getting burnt enough times would clear you up and teach you something about yourself to maybe move in a different direction. I mean, it's the least you can ask for somebody in the truth. Somebody in the world, until they find their way, I can't hold them accountable as much as I can for you because you're supposed to know better. The Most High looking at it the exact same way. The judgment's got to start with us first. So stop looking at these different things and not taking notice of it and understanding your place in this thing before it's too late. You got to judge that situation based on how you're walking. Because the scriptures, again, mainly talking about us. Job 33. You're almost done. Job 33 and verse 27. Job 33 and verse 27. He looketh upon men, and if any say, I have sinned, and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not, he will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. Lo, all these things worketh God oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. And I mentioned earlier about the level of patience and godly sorrow the Most High must have, because it's not, you look at certain situations and you're just like, man, the Lord really got to care about his creation. He really does. For him to be able to do these different things for the people, and it's the Most High showing you at the end of the day, I never wanted this to turn out the way it has. And again, it's no fault of the Most High. It hasn't happened because of him. It's because these people need correction. You can't just take a portion of the creative spirit and operate how you feel like it, because it's not your spirit. It's not your body. You literally live and exist because the Most High says you can't. You have a code of conduct and a law you have to abide by. And the Most High says, listen, I magnify my mercy, I don't know how many times, for those that have works and fall and get themselves up, for the ones that don't have the ability to call the confidence of good works. Like it says in 2nd Ezra, I think it's 8. So he's done it a million times. And it says the Most High often works with man to bring his soul back from the pit, to give him some type of life and understanding and purpose of why you actually here. Near-death experiences people can talk about and call upon, like some people more than once. But, you know, this is why it's fascinating that anybody ever shakes their hand at the Most High. You know, mean kid on an anthill. Nah, man. It's not how the Most High. It's not how the Most High operates. He's giving you time and chance, and everybody has it. And whether you want to take it or not is on you. I mean, again, it doesn't. Righteousness don't extend to the Most High. It makes no difference to you doing what you want to do or not. It's just the Most High sitting back in a chair because he's the judge and he gonna do his job. You ain't do yours, so somebody gotta hold you to the task. So we're approaching, and you're seeing all these different things happen. You have to take heed to it. What else are we doing at the end of the day? You notice when, certain teams get into the playoffs, you notice who's on the injury list. You see those things. You change with the times. People change their betting things with money they bet on certain sports, horse races. You know when a horse is out, but you can't notice when plagues hit the earth. You serious? You can't notice that these countries, everybody's being dragged into war. You can't notice gas, diesel going up to $6.30, still rising. You can't notice that change. Everybody want to still live in fantasy land, man. Those that can see, hold fast to what you got. Keep studying. Keep having confidence in the Most High, because all these things are happening to deliver you. Be aware of that and take it seriously, because these things are coming to an end fast. And I'm trying to see what the next life got to offer. This one was pretty whack. This one was pretty lame. I'm trying to see what the next one's got to offer. Psalm 17. Psalm 17. Verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. This isn't a good thing. It's talking about people that have been men of the world, that have been living on the pleasures of this life, and have chosen, like Christ said, you got to give up this life to receive another one. Many people have chosen to give up the next life to keep this one. And the Lord says, listen, these are the wicked. Give them, I think this is this prayer of David. Those that have done that, those that try to compass me, those that make fun of me, those that have been my enemies and an enemy to you, Lord, whatever you have for them, give to them, and also leave it for their children. It's not good. It's not a good treasure. It's not a good thing. It's destruction. You know that's coming for them. Destitute of things. curse the generation that comes after them. So people have chosen willfully to accept hearing, understanding, processing the laws that people have told them and the warnings that they've been given numerous times. I've had people talk about, oh, I know I'm an Israelite. I'm like, oh, how long have you known, sis? Or brother, how long have you known? Oh, I known this for about 11 years. Just like, why you out here on the Sabbath? Oh, I'm just trying to get myself together. 11 years? There's people that have understood and been given the information and they choose to just look at the law. Don't eat anything in the ocean that don't have fins and scales. It's like, you're not gonna worry about that. Let's go to Red Lobster. People don't, Most High is given the opportunity. Lord said, I've done all I can to give man a life and a life to come. But they consistently turn me down. And a brother had said the other day on Facebook, I think some post he put up, he was like, at this point, you realize the Most High he's gotten to a point where since he's visiting his creation, he's cutting his losses. It's just, the Most High is like, I created all these people. Because we ask, sometimes I joke with a brother about, the Most High's got to have a level of patience that's beyond our belief that somebody can withstand all this time, this disobedience. And you're thankful in one aspect because, you've been in the bunch that was disobedient and can now see and have chosen to make the decision to try to live your life better. But we joke from time to time, and I was just like, you realize the scriptures talk about how Israel is so hard-headed and stiff-necked that the only thing that the Most High can do that we can't do to get the nation in order is he has the ability to kill folks. I don't know if people understand how serious that is. That's how hard-headed Israel is. We've gathered ourselves together and people are still playing games and all these different things are happening. And the one thing that the Lord can do that we can't do is he can kill. We can't do that. That's a very hard-headed nation. I have to cut folks' heads off to get rid of the bad bunch. Just get rid of them. Kill them. Kill a third of them over there. And that's the way that people are going to get into the kingdom. So many people have chosen this life. It's sad, but, again, this is the reality we live. Just make sure that you're not one of them people. Verse 15. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. And you think about, like the scriptures talk about, when the books get open and read, some people are going to receive that first resurrection likeness. Some people are going to receive that the true image of God, so to speak. And you're going to be happy for that because that's what you want. As for me, it's what I want. I'll be happy with that because I didn't choose this life. I wasn't trying to entertain myself with every evil thing under the earth, under the sun. Every lustful thing I can think of, I wasn't entertaining that. I withheld myself. I had abstinence. Let me read that real quick. Give me a second. There's just 8. I feel like it's lost. Second Ezra 8. Second Ezra 7, verse 55. It says, "In that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness." And Ezra is talking about like the miserable existence it's got to be to suffer in this life and just to be waiting for a worse judgment when you close your eyes. People are committed to suicide and they just can understand the pain and the struggle in this life. The Lord is like, you don't really understand that until you do the act and get to the other side. And the Most High was just like, you thought it was bad where you were. You don't understand the level of anger and punishment on this other side. So this life is bad, but scriptures talk about stuff like people that have abstinence, people that withdraw themselves from sexual desire, withdraw themselves from wanting to get high all the time, doing all these different things we used to do in our life. The Most High says your face gonna shine, because those that understood how to be reserved, how to be a creature that has wisdom, and it manifests itself in his everyday life, his or her everyday life. And you can shine off of that. Most High is going to be able to choose people like that at the end of the day. And those are the ones that's going to make up eternity in the heavens. Make sure that you're one of them people. Don't be one of the people that's looking for the forest in the forest. It's sad, but take heed to the time that you got. It's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, folks. Most High is doing everything he can to give you every indication that the Lord's at the door. Repent while you still got a chance. Leviticus 20 and 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which have separated you from other people. All praises to the Most High. Another opportunity and ability to be able to do it. Happy Sabbath to you, brothers and sisters. Keep prayers up for everybody. Everybody needs it. I'm sure you need it. I need it. Don't be so quick to hold hatred for another brother or sister. Just, man, let it go. There's not really a lot of things that kind of show you how meaningless, stupid arguments and grudges can be until something catastrophic happens. And you realize, dang, it really wasn't that serious. It never is. Scriptures talk about how when the time comes, it's going to be like a dream. You woke up from it. It was just like, I can't believe that. It's just like you wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning. I thought that joint was real. This time is for keeps, though. So, like I said, all praises. The key is to make sure that you are separating yourself from other people. Your nation. The nation's first, because this is nationalism. This is nation first. But don't be so slow to remove yourself from other brothers and sisters that's in the truth, quote unquote, that ain't living by it either. All right. You don't need another brother and sister to hold your hand to get into the kingdom. That's not to say don't gather. That's retarded. Scriptures say to gather. Scriptures say to have fellowship. That's not a bad thing. But don't be so invested in another brother and sister and be willing to overlook certain things that happen because you're afraid that if they ain't there, I ain't gonna make it. That's ridiculous. The Lord been with you before you even knew it. Hold fast to that and understand and believe it always. All praises to the Most High, y'all. Lord's will next week. Shalom, Most High, and Christ bless. Happy Sabbath, folks.